Hello and welcome back to Kino-Plays, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Let's carry on with our interview. So, this ID card belonged to the victim. He was a detective just like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal? Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. Now that's an interesting thing. I mean, that certainly gives motive for why the murder would occur at that time. I mean, I'm already suspecting Miss Angel, the lunchbox seller, because of her grudge against Edgeworth. Or at least, the inferred grudge against Edgeworth. Because she was very clearly upset with the person who got awarded the King of Prosecutors trophy, and the person who owns the car, both of which are Edgeworth. And we've got all these rumours swirling around about Edgeworth creating false testimonies, fake evidence, and stuff like that. So, it must be... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Tomo. I'm thinking it might be a red herring, but I don't know. Captain Fury? What? I'm not bad, thank you, Citrix Gaming. Yeah, I mean, we heard those rumours the first time we met Edgeworth, which was during the trial involving Mia's death. I mean, if she believes that stuff, maybe she used to date someone that he put away. Connected, and those rumours have fueled her hatred of him. So maybe she's the murderer, but it feels just too obvious. But on the other hand, this is a game where for the very first 2 murders, we actually saw who the murderer was in the cutscene. Oh yeah, I am a fairy. It was the Captain Fury part that had me a bit confused. Had me a bit what? Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, if he did put away her fiance or her brother or just someone related to Angel, then that would give her reason to turn up during this evidence transferal, because maybe she wanted to steal some of the most important evidence so that the person could get a retrial based on those rumours against Edgeworth, and without that key evidence, they'd have to let him go. He didn't really do sketchy stuff though, Tomo, did he? I mean, he didn't give us the updated autopsy like he should have, but we don't really know the evidential rules of this court. And he did tell people not to say certain things, but that is kind of the sort of thing that they all do, don't they, really? I mean, you don't want your witness to say things that will hurt your case. Although, in a real court system, they wouldn't still be investigating the case at the time, and the prosecutor therefore would have chosen not to try the person. So, I don't know. Bit odd. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's odd to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot. And Lorna's confessing as much. He's in a tough spot again. Again? Well, it all started with the murder of that defence attorney, Hammond. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there have always been rumours about Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there are always whispered rumours. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering, they're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. I had no idea he was under the gun. Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumour. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself. What? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this all for all of us. That's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who is. What was his name? The guy in the parking lot? That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the Chief of Police. Officer Marshall? Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? Nah, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer. From West LA. For a moment there I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. Okay, nice. Kind of weird that it's got something crossed out on it though. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere. Just act like you're supposed to be there. Nobody will look at you twice, pal. Okay then. Huh, interesting, so it goes deeper, does it, Citrix? Huh. Looks like the investigation is still going. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my okay, this isn't a woman. This is Marshall, isn't it? Yeah. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Oh, good! Stop doing that! Just give me the damn name if it's someone I've already known so I get the right voices. I don't mind help from the audience, though. For a game like this, I'd rather avoid people directly say what the answers are and things, just so that people can play along. But clues are good. And pointing out things that I've obviously missed would help, because there've been a few times where I've gone and wasted like 10 to 20 minutes of the audience's time because I simply missed something. Like, I completely missed when they suddenly started talking about someone else than I thought they were talking about. So I kept pushing different pieces of evidence without getting the right thing. And in one case, I tried everything and everything wasn't working, and it turned out to be my badge actually had a use to it. But me personally, I don't care about spoilers. They've never bothered me in the least. I grew up with movies and trailers from the 80s where they quite literally tell you the entire plot of the movie in order to get you interested in it. Because it's not about being surprised by the turns things take. It's about, well, how did it get here? Which is weird, because I'm fine with that, but I really dislike the shows and movies where you've got a scene and then it goes, X days or hours or whatever earlier and getting up to there. Because that completely kills all possible tension because you know that they're going to be fine up until that point. I don't know why I dislike that plot system, but I don't mind them telling me the entire plot in a trailer. Because realistically, it should have the same effect on me, because I know they're going to be fine all the way up to that point, but it just bugs me. I really do hate the ones where they start off with that and then, right, let's rewind and see how we got here. Never liked those ones. Oh, still here? Hello. Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs too. What happened to the security guard? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. There's something I wanted to ask you. The scene of the crime, a cold grave for men who've lost their dreams. And me? I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming of the desert's harsh judgment. He's asleep. Well, should we show this hopeless case something to catch his interest? Yeah, I don't think he's going to actually give us anything useful until we've done this. But, well, so we got here. Hey, look here. It looks like something's been crossed out. Maybe it's a letter or something to Detective Gumshoe. Let's see. Annual bonus, $20. Ooh, that is a pathetic bonus. Ouch. I think a couple zeros are missing. No, that sounds about right. At least in that detective's case. Ooh, you catty bitch, Phoenix. Maybe I should rethink my career as an investigator. Yeah, someone really sucks balls, and it is clearly Detective Gumshoe. No, god damn it. Went too far. There we go. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. I cannot do a cowboy accent whatsoever. Not even remotely close to one. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. Maybe we investigate? Gumshoe? Ah, that old cowdog? He holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Luke, where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries. This proves it's from Detective Gumshoe better than a blood test. Oh! Everyone with such a low opinion of Gumshoe. Oh, that poor bastard. Leave the daddy alone. Guess I'd better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a sec. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler. Strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. I hate this guy so much. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. Oh, harsh! Detective Gumshoe's letter of introduction crumpled and discarded. Ouch. Let's investigate the rest of this before we talk too many further. We'll clearly find more pieces of evidence this way. This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. Yeah, that's real scientific, love. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Yeah, might as well. Alright, let's check it out. Really? You're taking control away from me for that? Whatever. Man, what a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know. Here, check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. These are hard to come by, you know. I see the series is as popular as ever with the kids. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright, most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. What? I don't think any phone I've ever owned had that feature. And I've had mobile phones since 1998. Or earlier. Might have been 96. Weird. And what I mean by that feature, I mean specifically a big blue button that you can press that'll show the last numbers you've dialed. No, you normally have to go into the call log for that, and that button is usually just the one to confirm that the number you've entered phones a number. Yeah, I know it's a video game, but still, at least stick to reality in some ways, please. But I don't know why. I don't know why I even argue with this game in reality when it's got such a stupid court system, and they let me get away with tampering with so much evidence. I really need to just let go on this one specific game. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you never know with people from your generation. Oh! Ouch! Whatever. Let's check this phone out. Now see who the owner of this phone called last. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. You just told me what the fucking thing does! Why wouldn't I press the button? Except it's gonna ring the number now, isn't it? Just like I said it would. What? Hey, that song, I knew that. Hey, what's going on over here? Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that there phone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this, anyway? It was on the ground over here. Over there. Bollocks. Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prosecutor Sky. What? It's my sister's? She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Luke, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds, according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now, I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ringing just now. One of those newfangled ring tunes. Oh, that's... Oh, I'm sorry. That was my phone. What? Your phone? Okay, I guess Phoenix's phone doesn't have a vibrate function. Otherwise, how in the hell would he not recognize his own phone ringing? What? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. A wrong number. No, dude, you just phoned yourself. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Dude, you're from LA, not Texas. Shut up. I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Okay, let's go made at 518. Anything else we can find out from the phone? There's no need to push this again. What's wrong? You look like I do during finals. Never mind, it's nothing. Seriously, is that it? What was the point of saying that I could re-examine it if that's all you're gonna say? Yeah. B-block is through there. That's where visitors park. I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. I can see a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy-looking steak. What? Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy? I just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. This appears to be the car where the body was found. Looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car. It just screams, I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. Now this is such a strange design of place. Is this one of those Japanese parking lots where the cars are on like a rotating mechanical thing so they can store multiple in the same spot? In which case, this car and the body might not be what might have already been pre-sorted. And what was witnessed was a different vehicle and a fake body, maybe. Or something. There's got to be some reason why this would be on one of those rotating things. What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. Look, something's written on it. You're right, let's see. 67S 12-2. Okay, that's got to be a case file. And a date. There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so? What does that mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, for deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. Ooh. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. No, dude, I'm sure Edgeworth would at least know that that sounds like a case file number. I mean, you dealt with the DL6 incident repeatedly. Oh! Actually, that's upside down, isn't it? It was actually 221 and SL9. That is a case file number. It's just for some reason Goodman wrote it on the paper upside down. I wonder if I can figure that out by... No, I can't look at it and figure that out. But I bet that is SL9. This rope, is it? Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. What? You've got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. Huh. Apparently I can't examine this type of parking spot, but I'm sure this is one of those mechanical ones that sorts the cars, and you have to call your car back to it. I've never actually seen one of those in person though. Well, we've examined all the evidence we can, so let's present some evidence to him, see what he has, see if we can get him to talk to us about anything useful. I see your badge. Looks pretty round. Our badge is a star, a lone star, shining in the nighttime sky. A beam of light illuminating evildoers who come in the dark of night. Note to self, evildoers are weak against starlight. What? Hey, that's a sheriff's badge. You're a patrolman, dude. That's not your real badge. What's that? Some sort of police passport? This is Detective Goodman's ID card. Strangely enough. We found it a good distance away from the crime scene. Good distance? In this rat hole? If you want distance, get yourself to Texas. Texas? This is a tiny little crime scene, in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre? Note to self, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. There's no better way to study than to hang out with the pros. Then you're clearly not studying. Because he is definitely not a pro. Alright, compadre, count to 3. Huh? You gotta do that if you're going to draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas. Remind me never to visit Texas. Ah, a toy shield. Suits the boy well. What exactly could you shield with that? A toy knight, maybe? Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth? You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective, I got one of these. Wait, what? He used to be a detective and he got demoted? Interesting. Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it? Hey, they could use the same shield over and over. Note to self, the prosecutor's office and criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap. Okay. You know it. They've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I tell you. 5:12 p.m. The prosecutor's bright red steed came in at his trot, real slow-like. A trot? My Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later. So it seems the chief prosecutor was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for her prince to ride in on his bright red horse. Dude, you could at least say bright red steed. So what you mean is, the killer intended to use Edgeworth's car all along. Yeah. Okay, so Edgeworth arrived at 5:12. The murder occurred at 5:15. But the phone call was made at 5:18. Why? Yeah, that's not sus whatsoever. Ah, I pressed the wrong button. I'm looking at evidence again instead of presenting. Okay, that's that useless draw thing. Oh, God, stop! Ah! Pressing way too fast there. My sister's cell phone. The last time it was used was 5:18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was cancelling her date for the night. Why did Lorna make that call? Well, we can ask her later. Skip. Alright. What have you got to tell us about the victim and the murder then? Or whatever the other line was that I didn't read. Pardon me? Officer Marshall, can you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman, he was a detective, right? Well, I knew a feisty doggy right there now. Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angel Starr. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report. Okay. Okay. Well, at least for once we've got a range of time instead of specifically saying what time it is, which which an autopsy couldn't possibly know. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Skye and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. So there's no motive. Depends on what the case was. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor. Well, my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, to this parking lot? So it seems, like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I wonder if he's such an arrogant murderer that he's actually showing us constantly the murder weapon. Because this guy is sus as fuck. So far I don't think he's the murderer, but that would be cocky as shit. And he certainly seems deranged enough. Because he's clearly delusional. I don't mean any offence, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective. You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was one of them fancy shoot detectives until 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So, why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. He's nothing but a sad old cowdog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? That cowdog's been kicked out of this Calderon by order of the chief of the police. Just you don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? Huh. So, there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister? That's correct, but there's a goldmine of evidence against her. And the prosecutor tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. My many condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and his sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind that's a-blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill wind? Someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence, arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. But rumours are just rumours, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumours about Edgeworth to their source, you'll find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? Hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. Prospector. Because of the stupid way he says things. What? My sister? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets. Some people load them with deals. What, you're saying Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was close to Edgeworth? So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing that's still bothering me is that Lorna's confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma? Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids? Oh, so when we pressed to ring it, it rang her, not me. Okay. But we implied that it was... so we were covering for Emma, saying, pretending that it rang us, not her. Okay. phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:15, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. The detective's murdered and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. Yeah, no shit, Phoenix. You still have no motive and no idea who could possibly have framed it. Of course you don't know the whole story. Not unless you actually believe that she's the killer. Dumbass. Though I would have liked to have gone back to the detention centre to present the phone to her, to see if she had anything to say about that phone call she made. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of grey areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big grey area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yeah? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is... you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I don't know, Phoenix. You seem to certainly have a habit of people bailing you out. I mean, hell. In one of the trials, Edgeworth bailed you out. I'll be alone in there. So, I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lorna Skye. The defence is ready, Your Honour. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honour. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment will be made here. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lorna Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it on the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? Ew! That just looks gross. You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. Just really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a festive bowl. I have no idea what you've put on that. Just looks like you've put ice cream sprinkles all over it. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Yeah, I know what caviar is. I know it's fish eggs. It just looks gross. I've probably had some sort of... Well, I think I've had some sort of fish eggs on sushi before. I think they put roe on it, don't they? It just looks disgusting. Well, Your Honour, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the hell does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry up! Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honour, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen, Angel Starr, Your Honour. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here? The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife, and went to drive the body out. Getting all tongue-tied. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honour. Okay. Let's see if I can investigate anything on there or not. No, just slide. Ah! Well, I can already see where the contradiction's going to come up when I use this evidence, Tomo and Citrix. The witness will say that they came in through the door and turned left to see the car. No, that'd be the same from both directions, though. But there's definitely going to be something to piece it together based on. But there it is. If they're in B block and they come in through the door and immediately look left, they can see the cars. But in A block, if they come through the door and immediately look left, the wall is in the way, completely blocking the view of the car. That's going to be important later. So keep that in mind. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honour. Immediately after that, I apprehended the Chief Prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honour. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honour. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend, when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the Chief Prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The Chief Prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Okay, so far that matches, because the right hand is the one that she's got cut up. Okay, no contradiction there yet. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin to cross-examine the witness. Okay, this one's going to require pushing, because there's nothing I can immediately detect there. There's a contradiction. Hopefully we can trip her up and make her add something to her testimony. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing of a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Okay, so we've got a big old motive for both her and Marshall. Seeing as how she's been fired and he's been demoted. And it's blatant that he's her boyfriend. Okay. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. There's the femdom coming out again. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. Okay. We've only met two... Well... There are only two boyfriends for certain so far. Though we're not really made clear who they are. I mean, obviously, Marshall's one. I think that patrolman that turned up in Edgeworth's office might be one. He's probably the one who works in the security office. The third one could be the detective himself, the murder victim. But I have to keep talking to her, find out more. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. Oh, that shit-eating grin on Emma's face right there. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. I don't think you would see that, even with it being up that high. I would think that that wall would get in the way of your view of that car, though. Big ol' X to doubt on that one. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say... Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. What? I have no fucking clue what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition... Wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goldman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese. A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. I'm just going to leave the mental image of the hard judge in your capable hands. Yeah, with the odour of an old cheese to match. In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean... Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Enjoy that one, Citrix. Yes. You'll probably get quite a lot of weird mental images if you stick around in my streams. Indeed, it was. What an odd case this is. Yeah, just a little odd. I mean, why would she meet a detective in their building, why, if she intended to kill someone, would she not bring her own weapon, instead using one from Edgeworth's trunk? And why would she even know that there was a knife in his car in the first place? Oh, bye, Citrix. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you're a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, Rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. Okay, looks like the judge has a thing for femdoms as well. Okay then. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. Where's the other barrel? I mean, that is a really fucking incriminating photo. But there's only one barrel there, not two like we saw. And I don't see the water tap either. This doesn't look like the same parking lot to me. I think this happened in a different building. This doesn't add up. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. Why, that would have helped his case, not hurt it. Your claim is that they hide evidence that hurts the case, which means that you know that this evidence is bad and will hurt the case against her. Because you aren't confident in your frame job, are you, love? But we will continue on with this after the break, or next stream, because it's probably bedtime for Tomos. Next time on Kino-Plays, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. New episodes upload daily to the YouTube channel, 9 PM UK time. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Goodbye.